Interview time.
Interview time.
Interview time.
Okay.
So you want to ask me some of the questions?
So I'm going to ask, what kinds of toys did you play with?
I like Legos a whole lot. Legos. Really the only toy that I owned when it came down to it. I used the Legos to make Transformers.
Okay. So, did you watch TV? What shows? What was the TV like?
Well, I used to watch a lot of TV shows. I watched too much TV. Yeah. My favorite show when I was your age was called Star Blazers, which was a Japanese animation show before they knew it as anime. And it was like a big battleship with a big ray gun on the front of it, with this whole crew flying through space trying to save Earth.
So what was the TV like?
Well, when I was really little, we only owned a black and white TV. No color or anything like that.
Yeah.
And you had to get up, just like in the old days, you had to get up and turn the knob and all that kind of stuff. And there was only 3 regular channels and 2 what's called UHF channels. We were using rabbit ears, so didn't always get all those channels. And when we finally got cable, I basically spent all my time watching musicals on HBO.
Yeah. Okay. What was your favorite book?
Favorite book? There was a series of books that I used to read called The Secret Seven. And it was about 7 kids that had a clubhouse, and they solved a lot of mysteries. But my very first book I ever read when I was younger than you was a book by Steve Martin. He's a comedian, and it was called Cruel Shoes. And that's the first book I ever read cover to cover.
Okay. So, what did your neighborhood look like?
Well, it was in Norfolk, and it was sort of like a Navy neighborhood. It was right next to a Navy base, so a lot of the people that lived in the neighborhood were in the Navy. And it had pretty wide streets, as I recall, but the kids around there weren't very nice. There were a lot of bullies.
So you got into a lot of fights?
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay, I'm going to pick a random one this time.
Okay, all right.
What kinds of games did you play as a kid?
What games did I play? Good question. I didn't play a whole lot of board games and stuff like that, so we had this hide-and-seek kind of game. It was called the Running Man, but what you would do when you would capture the other person, rather than just say, tag, you're it, you'd wrestle them. Yeah.
To get them down?
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of furniture did you have?
Regular furniture is a little bit old at the time. So, I recall we had this one couch that, I don't know, it was like nylon or whatever, but it was not comfortable at all. It was hard. But we had that couch for many, many years. It was an ugly green color. I couldn't stand it. Any more questions?
Okay.
Let's do one more. Pick a good one.
What was a new technology when you were a kid?
Oh yeah, the very first video game console that I ever owned, which was an Atari 2600. That's where you got all your Pac-Man. And you didn't have Super Mario back then, but you did have Donkey Kong. And there was this one game called Adventure that I liked to play, which was basically just a yellow dot. You moved around the screen and moved it through a maze, and you picked up like a key and went into a castle, and there was a dragon there.
And you had to fight it.
Well, no, you didn't have. You had to avoid it, and then there was really only one way to solve it. But once you figured it out, you couldn't really play the game. The game wasn't a challenge anymore. All right, I'll give you one more.
Okay.
Riveting.
What? Huh. What kinds of jobs or chores did you have?
My dad used to make me do everything. He used to have to rake the yard all the time. I vacuumed the house. You know, I worked pretty hard.
Yeah.
You know.
So you finally
I
get
didn't
to
get
rest.
distracted by the internet or YouTube because there wasn't
Stop!
any. Yeah. All right. Well, that's it. Say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.